Hello, I'm William Joensen, the Catholic Bishop of the Diocese of Des Moines, which composes 23 counties in southwest Iowa. I'm joining with my brother bishops in Iowa, reflecting on our role as political citizens, faithful to our faith, but also to lifting up the common good in society and our various communities. Social justice is sometimes mistaken for distributive justice. That distributive justice, which often has a central organizing body, usually government of various forms, distributing goods to people according to their merit or according to their need. And so we know that those who are wary of kind of a centralizing factor, even though the state does perform a vital role in society, but it is not the only one that should do so. And so really, social justice in the spirit of St. Martin de Porres, our celebration in early November of this 17th century religious brother. He's the patron of social justice, Martin the Charitable, but I think blending charity and justice in a way that respects persons in themselves as they participate in various ways in mutual activity toward a common good, in which those goods could not be realized if you did not have people diversely participating in them. So shared mutual activity, we might think of an American football team where the players fulfill different roles for the sake of winning the game, but that the activity itself dignifies the participants in which they fulfill their respective positions and perform according to their abilities. And so the common good is something that cannot be achieved by individuals in themselves. A common good is not simply then the sum of all the goods and resources, the potentials of a particular society. Sometimes even in our Vatican II document, the Pastoral Constitution on the Church in the Modern World, one of the definitions of the common good there could lend itself to the misinterpretation that we're just performing a mathematical sum of all the benefits, all the goods that exist in society. No, there's a good inherent, as with the family farm, the family that fulfills the role, the various tasks and the operation of the farm, but something is worthy and achievable there simply by collaborating together in a common good, which, yes, the farm must prosper if it is to remain into existence, our century farms in Iowa in other ways, but how each member becomes a closer member of the family, comes into his or her own and realizing his individual potential, but only because of the relationships that are part of the fabric of that particular society. And so in the Feast of the All Saints, the Communion of Saints, we think of that vision of Revelation where there's that multitude in heaven who are singing God's praises, but each with one's own unique voice, such that no one drowns anyone else out. Some may be an alto or soprano, sometimes a baritone or a bass, and it's not simply that persons are exchangeable or replaceable. Each one is worthy and valued and cherished, incommunicable, if you will, on his or her own very existence and the dignity that each person possesses. And so I think then we begin to think about our political choices, our discernment of our leaders as we cast our vote, not only in the November elections, but as we think of our support for policies in our Iowa legislature rolling into next year. We think about the ways then we want people to be participants, agents, having a role in determining their own destiny, realizing their own ultimate goods on an earthly level, but ultimately so that we can participate most completely in that communion that God has established among those who relate to Him and each other with justice and charity. And so again, that principle of social justice, shared activity toward a common good which could not be realized unless persons participate diversely. Again, persons unique in their own ways, not simply equal in all their gifts, the gifts they bring to the table and their various potentials, but in that diversity, as in the Matthew 20 parable of the harvest, people coming into play at different times, but each fulfilling a vital role that ultimately benefits all. Thank you for your attention as we reflected on social justice. May God's wisdom and Spirit continue to guide you as you make choices and as you take up your own part to lift up our communities, our state, our church, and our society.